Today we're going to talk about the real number system. This is where you have your numbers, your real numbers, which is made up of different subsets. You have rational numbers, integers, whole numbers, natural numbers, and irrational numbers. Rational numbers, which is one subset, is a ratio of two integers where the denominator cannot be 0. You can have repeating decimals, and you can have terminating decimals, or decimals that end. So terminating is the same thing that decimals that end. Irrational numbers is real numbers that cannot be written as simplified fractions. So it's decimals that do not repeat or terminate. So rational numbers can repeat or they end. Irrational, they do not repeat or end. One subset of rational numbers is integers, which is your positive and negative whole numbers, for example, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth in each direction. So all your negatives, all your positives. Whole numbers is your natural numbers that include 0. Your whole numbers are your natural numbers including 0. So for example, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth, where your natural numbers are your whole numbers starting at 1. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. It's your counting numbers. It's what you can count. So as you can see, natural numbers are your smallest subset. Those are your positive numbers, are the ones you count with. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Then from there, they're within the subset of whole numbers. So the difference here is you include 0. So you have 0 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, which is then in a subset of integers, which is not only your whole numbers for positives, but your whole numbers for negatives. That is then within a subset of rational numbers. An example of rational numbers may be 1/2, because that is an ending or terminating decimal, because that equals 0.5 or 5/10, or maybe a decimal of 3/10 repeating. Okay, that is a number that repeats. You could also have an example such as 25/5, because this simplifies to a whole number. An example of irrational numbers may be a number like 2/7, or what we know as pi, which is 3.14, and then it keeps going. Looking to the right, these boxes, what is a set? A set is a collection of numbers or letters And braces are used before and after all the numbers in the set. For example, these braces or brackets show that -5, 4, and 12 are a set. What is a subset? A set of numbers or members that are completely contained within another set. For example, whole numbers are a subset of integers. This means all whole numbers are also integers. Let's try some together. Name all the sets of the numbers to which the real number belongs to. Then circle the smallest subset that the number belongs to. 0. 0 is a whole number, an integer, and a rational number. If you think back to our picture, the first time 0 appears in the smallest set was a whole number. And number 2, this is a rational. The only subset that this goes in is rational numbers because it is negative and a terminating decimal. Number 3, square root of 13 is not a perfect square. This is an irrational number. If you were to find out what the square root of 13 is, it would tell you 3.60555, and it keeps going. Remember, the definition are decimals for an irrational number is decimals that do not repeat or terminate. Number 4, 34 is a natural number because it's your counting numbers. A whole number, because remember all natural numbers are whole numbers. An integer, because all whole numbers are integers. And a rational number, because all of these are rational numbers. But the smallest subset it appears in first is a natural number. You try 5 through 13. Go ahead and pause the video. Check your answers with the following problems. If you have any questions, ask your teacher.